What's good, y'all? Just for Kicks 212 here, and I'm back with another PickUpz video. I don't want to get too deep into it, bore you guys out there, but I'm back, I guess. If you have any questions, comments, or anything like that, just email me, justforkicks212@gmail.com, or leave it down in the comment section. I'll reply to you. I don't know what else to say. Let's just start up with this pickup video, my niggas. What's poppin'? Y'all niggas been missing the guard. I'm gonna show you guys right now. I gotta pick up my mans out in Miami. Pick these up for me. I'm gonna show you guys right here. Let's read off the box tag. Nike CJ81 Trainer Max. I got the style code 603711, color code 700. And if you guys are familiar with this model of shoe, this is Calvin Johnson, the football player, guys. Just in case you guys don't know, because there's a lot of niggas who don't know. Calvin Johnson broke all those records last year for a wide receiver. He gave him his own signature shoe. I'm just gonna show you a color I got. So let's get right into it. Bam, nigga, bam, nigga. Yeah, I got the Calvin Johnson combine joints. Combine, however you say it. Let's get straight right into it, y'all. All right, y'all, so this is the CJ81 Trainer Max. I don't know if you guys know, but again, Calvin Johnson. This is a shoe. They haven't been popping up at many places. I believe only Champ Sports sells them. Not Foot Action, not Foot Locker, not Finish Line, just Champ Sports. You can also get them on Nike store as well. But for the most part, these were deemed limited. They didn't come out in my area, Orlando, Florida. And I had a boy out in Miami whose spot had them. Mind you, I'm gonna tell you the story behind these. Let me just get right into it real quick. So bam, Calvin Johnson's drop. I was like, yo, I need them shits, but I can wait because I know they're not gonna sell out, right? Bam, it was a Saturday. Next thing you know, literally a week later, there was a 50 time for Foot Locker employees. So if you don't know, I have a lot of friends who work for Nike, who work for Foot Locker, Champs, Foot Action, blah, 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 blah. Finish Line, whatever. And pretty much when it's 50 time, they hit me up for the most part. And they tell me, yo, if you need something, holla at me. So pretty much that was the case. My boy out in Miami, he hit me up like, yo, 50 time was popping, you need something over here? And mind you, I was like, nah, I don't need nothing because my boy out in Orlando got me. But cool, thank you for letting me know. And he was like, nah, don't worry about it, whatever. Come to find out, the Champs in my local area did not have this colorway. They had the Sandy Creek joints, which I already got. And that was the only ones they had. They didn't get the combine joints. I think it was the only one that came out around that time, because now you got the home run joints, which is fucking bananas. Those are gonna be the next joints I get. And then you got the Lions joints, which is already copped. So pretty much I was like, yo, I hit him up like, yo, your local Champs should have the combine joints. If you're not familiar with the combine joints, this pair was actually made for Calvin Johnson. His stats and all that stuff he did when he did the NFL combine, when you're gonna be drafted, they do your vertical and all that extra shit. I'll get into that in a second. No. I don't know, just in case. Anyway, the Champs over there got it. Go take a stroll down the hall, because again, he worked in the Foot Locker. So I was like, take a stroll down the hall and pick those joints up for me. He's like, all right, cool. So he was like, I'm gonna get back to you. That was the first day of the 50, mind you. So he hit me up like, yo, literally later that day after him, he's like, yo, you want the combine joints? And I'm like, nigga, I already told you the combine joints. Nigga, we straight. Like, you know what I mean? Connection good? He's like, yeah, I got you. All right, so now I'm waiting for him so I can PayPal him the money or whatever the situation is. He don't hit me up for the day, so I'm like, all right, maybe he just copped him, whatever. I'll send him money whenever he tells me his PayPal address or whatever situation. Western Union, him some money or whatever it is. Mind you, the 50's only 2 days. I hit him up again the next day like, yo, are we good? And he's like, yeah, don't worry about it, I'm gonna get him. So I'm like, oh, you haven't got him yet? He's like, nah, just wait a little while. So I was like, all right, cool. So again, he don't hit me up. That was early in the morning. He don't hit me up. So I hit him up in the late afternoon like, yo, where can I send you the money? So, you know, I don't want you to be broke. You know what I mean? He's like, nah, it's all right, it's cool. Don't worry about it. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. He's like, I'm gonna hit you up before the store closes. So I'm like, all right. So he hits me up literally like 10 minutes before the store's gonna close. He's like, yo, you want a size 11, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah, don't worry, I got you. It came out to $60. Mind you, it's 50 times. So the shoes are $120 retail, and with the 50, $60 for these joints. $60, not bad for these joints at all. So anyway, so I was like, all right, cool, good looking. You can either ship them to me, or I'll go down there, like when I go to a sneaker show, or when you come up here, whatever, you can hand them off to me, whatever the situation is. Just let me know what's best for you. He's like, nah, don't worry about it. I'm gonna be up there, because whatever. So I was like, all right, cool. My nigga, this nigga had the nerve, right? He came up top. He was like, yo, my nigga, yo, here's your shoe, but yo, I need $100. So now I'm giving him the look like, what? Like, you know that, like your boy trying to like joke with you. Like, I'm like, alright, yeah, whatever, nigga, give me my shoe. So he gives me the shoe. He's like, nah, I need 100 cash. I'm looking at him like, nigga, the shoe was $60. How do you need $100? He's like, nah, cause you know how, you need tax out here. Like, and I'm like, tax? What are you talking about, tax? Like tax for the shoe? He's like, no, tax. And mind you, I'm not familiar with the term tax. Like taxis, like tax for me is like back when we was kids, like if you had like a bag of potato chips or some shit and you like grabbed them like taxis or something like that, then that's it. That's your chips or some shit like that. I'm not familiar with tax, you know what I mean? How they, I guess it's a down south thing. So he's like, nah, like, for doing you the favor. So now I'm looking at him like, nigga, for real? Exactly what you said, for doing me the favor. So this isn't a favor. And he's like, nah, just give me 100 cash. So I'm like, now I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, nigga, are you serious? Like, I'm looking at him like, nigga, you for real? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, nigga, I'm not giving you $100. I can go to a Champs right now and go get a birthday coupon and it'll be less. I pay less. And he's like, oh, all right, just give me $90. So I'm looking at him like, nigga, I'm not even giving you $90, nigga. He's like, yo, come on, man. I had to get the shoe for you. I'm like, nigga, $90 seriously for the shoe? That's exactly what you pay with 30% off. I could have got that over here pretty much if I would have ordered it. So he's like, yo, all right, just give me 80 cash. So mind you, I'm at the point where I'm like, nigga, just take the $80. Cause what I was gonna do was I was gonna give him the 60 cash and I was like, yo, you want lunch? Yo, let me give you a few dollars. Like it would have been like 20 cash. Like even though it would have been 80, like it would have been something like that. You know what I mean? You didn't have to be like, yo, give me $100. Like nigga. So now I'm like, nigga, you funny, nigga. And he's like, nah, I love you, nah, whatever. So I'm like, whatever. So then I give him the whole logistics just to be a dickhead. I'm like, nigga, a pawn shop only charges 20%, 25% on every $100, right? He's like, what does that mean? I'm like, nigga, so they charge me $25 off every $100. Mind you trying to rate me on the $60 I just gave you. He's like, what do you mean, nigga? What do you mean? I'm like, nigga, you just got a $20 profit. So you got 33% profit off me. So you making more than a pawn shop just to look out, do me a favor after you call me. And he's like, nah, my fault's not even like that. Man, end of the story, I got my shoe. $80 it came out to, even though it should have came out to 60, but whatever the case is, good looking. Again, I was gonna look out for him regardless, but since he wanted to be like that, it's whatever. That's still my nigga. Shout out to you. Can't say your name obviously, cause you hooked me up. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna show you guys the shoe up close. Combine shoe. Let's start at the outsole real quick. The Megatron logo right in the midfoot. You got the adaptive pod traction in blue. The rest of the lug pattern is in that translucent green. You got the flex grooves in blue. Obviously throughout the shoe. You got the swoosh in the heel. And that's pretty much it for the outsole. Moving up to the midsole of the shoe. As you guys see, it's that blue with Volt speckling all through it. You got that Volt 180 Max unit. Yeah. So even on the medial side, it's speckled in Volt for blue midsole. Going to the toe of the shoe, you got the translucent rubber that wraps up onto the upper. And going to the heel, you got the Megatron logo. Again, if you guys don't see it, this is Calvin Johnson's logo. So you actually see, they actually changed the regular Decepticon logo and they actually made it Calvin Johnson. So you see the C in silver and the J in Volt for Calvin Johnson. This is one of the best logos that come out in a long time, man. I haven't seen a dope logo like this in a while. They probably had to pay Hasbro a lot of money for that joint. Pretty much going on to the upper, you got a hyperfuse all throughout. The toe has more layering over it for more durability, obviously. Medial side has that blue swoosh, and you have ventilation and the mid panel on the medial side. You got the dynamic fit strap right there with the swoosh on it. It says CJ81 Trainer Max, name on the strap, so you guys can see the blue swoosh. On the inside of the strap, it says Shock the World. Again, if you guys aren't familiar with the Calvin Johnson shoe, every single colorway has its own saying on the inside of the tongue. So all the colorways are different. So this one says, again, it says Shock the World. I believe my the Lions pair says Something about catching. I forget what the Sandy Creek say. All of them say something different though. Moving along to the tongue. The tongue is vault. Then you got Calvin Johnson. Excuse me. Then you got Calvin Johnson's signature right there on the top of the tongue, with all the perforations on the tongue for breathability. You got a special kind of mesh. I'm not even sure of the name, but it feels real lightweight, and it actually conforms to your ankle, so it feels really comfortable inside. Right here, as you guys see, right behind the tongue, you have these actual stats from his combine, which is pretty dope. Another reason why they call it the combine pair. So I'll read it off to you real quick. Calvin Johnson's 40-yard dash was 4.35. His vertical jump was 42.5, and his broad jump was 11.7. Going along to the other shoe, you have his height, which is 6'5". That nigga's a big ass receiver. His weight is 230. That nigga is a beast. That's nigga. Imagine like just a LeBron James playing. Like he's literally what, 2-3 inches shorter than LeBron James, right around the same weight. Just imagine LeBron playing. And his wingspan is 6'10", which is fucking ridiculous. That nigga's a big ass nigga, B. Moving along to the insole. The insole actually says his number, his logo, Calvin Johnson, his signature, the swoosh, and it says engineered to the exact specifications of Calvin Johnson. Crazy thing about the insole is it's an ortholite insole. So that means it's legitly made for training, you know what I mean? They're not giving you like the retros, how to give the Ava insoles. It's actually meant for training. You actually use this for training, which is really dope. My only gripe with the shoe is that I think Nike, seeing how, I don't want to say how bad the Revis did with sales, because if you're familiar with the outlet, you can get a Revis for like 40 bucks nowadays. Mind you, those things retail for 130. So nowadays in outlets, you see them for so cheap, the Revis, after all that crazy hype, whatever. Mind you, he got injured when his shoe came out, so he couldn't really like, you know, be behind it, I guess, no homo. And so I guess, to me, I think they like toned it down, because to me, this shoe, they should have put a zoom unit in the forefoot, just because it's a trainer shoe for Calvin Johnson. The Revis was full length zoom, while this is only Air Max in the heel, 180 max in the heel. You would think they would give you a zoom setup in the forefoot. Just like, for example, this reminds me of the setup, if it had the zoom unit of the LeBron 8 version 3, the PS with the hyperfuse kind of thing, it would have been like almost the same setup. And I think that's the setup they should have went with, but for whatever reason they didn't. And it is what it is, but it's still a great shoe, it's still comfortable. And yeah, I wish they had a zoom unit in the forefoot. Anyway, this is the Calvin Johnson shoe. I don't know what else to say to you guys. If you have any questions, comments, concern about the shoe, or anything in particular, feel free to leave it down in the comment box or email me. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, just for kicks 212. Pay attention to the channel, because I'm going to be dropping a bunch of videos. Before I leave, is it me? Just you can also mention this in the comment box down below. But is it me, or does this look like the old Griffeys? I think it was the Griffey 3 that had the strap over it. I think it was the Griffey 3. Holla at y'all later, just for kicks 212. 1.